How do you keep these hoes off you?
Uh,
I'm just wondering. I'm gonna get straight to it, man. How do you keep them
yeah.
off you?
Who said I keep them off of me?
Okay. My next guest is a real estate agent for $1 billion corporation. He's the perfect mix of ratchet and wisdom. He's one of my great friends, an old soul trapped in a young body. Give it up for Adam Edwards. Adam, what's up, man? Welcome to the Chocolate Broker.
How's it going, Tony? How's it going?
It's going good, man. You made it. You finally made it.
I did. It's
All
been
the way from Atlanta, Georgia, right?
Atlanta, Georgia. Yes,
Okay.
yes. Originally from Houston, Texas, though.
I know. Yeah. We should probably start off by talking about how like me getting in real estate is all due to you. Like I give you credit all the time. I just say like my friend introduced me to real estate, and I'm always talking about you because
Yeah.
you got me into real estate. Like you changed my life literally. So I'll always appreciate you for that, man.
No
From
problem.
the bottom of my heart, man. And this is the first time I'm actually drinking on the show because we want to celebrate you being top producer in Atlanta.
The top 10 producers for the Atlanta Realtors Association.
Top 10.
For the
So
past 3 years of running.
you're one of the 10 best realtors in Atlanta is what I'm understanding.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, by units. How many properties I bought?
Okay. By units, how many properties you purchased?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
exactly.
cool, man. That's cool, man. That's quite a feat. Let me cheers to that. If you wanna grab something, man.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah. So what else been up, man? What's new in your life?
What's new?
Yeah.
I mean, same old, same old. I mean, just buying houses every day.
Yeah.
Talking to these agents, trying to be their therapist and
Right.
get these deals closed.
And we started together working in real estate in Houston first.
We did.
What would you
we
say
did.
is the biggest difference between the Houston market and the Atlanta market?
The biggest difference would be, so in Atlanta, there's like a lot of basements in the properties.
Okay.
And so we have a lot of issues with those. And just in terms of like valuing properties and things like that. And
So
Houston
what's wrong with the basement? Like foundation issues or what?
So actually, I mean, we will have more foundation issues in Houston also because it's closer to the water, so the ground's a little softer. But there are foundation issues, but more so water intrusion. So just water getting into the basement.
Right.
A lot of the basements aren't sealed properly when they're first built, and so we have a lot of water intrusion issues,
Right.
which create mold and things like that.
Right.
Yeah, I would say that.
Okay.
And also, I mean, the properties in Atlanta are priced higher than the properties, I would say, in Houston.
Okay.
So that's about two of the biggest differences there.
How do you keep these hoes off you? I'm just wondering. I'm gonna get straight to it, man. How do you keep them
Yeah.
off you?
Who said I keep them off of me?
Okay.
Uh,
I'm sorry, the drink hit me a little sooner than I expected.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
drink that often, so
Yeah, nah, no worries. But
no, we
I
can
mean,
get back to real estate. I'm messing with you, man, but
but I mean, honestly, I wanted to answer the question.
yeah.
Yeah.
By all means.
But I mean, honestly, at this part of my life, I'm more so focused on trying to be there for my daughter who's 12, turning 13 this year.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's really the true love of my life.
Right.
So just focus on trying to buy as many houses as possible, so I
Yeah.
can provide a future for her.
That's what's up, man. I feel like I'm a deadbeat uncle every time you mention your daughter. Because,
That's all right.
but it's partially your fault, though, because you're in Atlanta. Now, if you were here, I think I would definitely see Sweet Soraya way more often.
Exactly. And
And
that's,
actually, I was going to bring her up because I wanted to know, like, how do you, as a father, keep her in line and on the track to be a productive young lady versus a lot of, of the opposite we see out there.
exactly. So I mean, honestly, I just basically tell her the truth. I mean, being the Sagittarius I am,
Okay.
I just want to tell it like it is. I
So
don't.
what? Sagittarius are truth tellers? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. We are known to tell the truth to
Hmm.
our own detriment.
Interesting.
But we will tell the truth.
You're saying
Sagittarius.
overall Sagittarius
Overall,
are truth
yes.
tellers to their detriment.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's
Exactly.
what's up. Okay,
Exactly.
but not to skip over your daughter. You tell her the truth and
Exactly.
uh huh.
Exactly. So, I mean, I grew up, in a household where, you were told to sit down and stay in the child's place.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really didn't, necessarily like that,
Mm-hmm.
coming up as an adult and realizing if I'm told to sit down as a child and stay in the child's place, how will I know how to be an adult when I become an adult?
Mm.
You know? So I want to teach her about the financial responsibilities about, becoming an adult. I
Mm-hmm.
want to teach her about, what it's going to be like from a relationship standpoint when she becomes an adult. And even right now, uh, she asked me about dating the other day.
Oh,
You know?
really?
Yes,
And
yes.
you said she's 12, right?
She is 12. She'll be 13 this month.
Okay. What she asked you about
On the
dating?
27th. I mean, so basically, she asked her mom if she can date. And, we were
And what she said? Go ask your daddy.
uh basically, yes,
Okay.
yes. And so me and Ashley had a conversation, and well, first of all, we were trying to figure out date. What does that mean? At
Right.
12 years old,
Right.
you know.
In 2024.
Mm-hmm.
What does dating mean to a 12-year-old in
Mm-hmm.
2024?
Exactly. So I mean, I understand you wanna. I mean, you can. You like someone in school.
Uh-huh.
You want to hold their hands and walk down the hallway. That's fine.
Right.
But as far as me recognizing you as somebody's girlfriend, that's a little too early.
Right.
A little
Right.
premature. So I
Mm-hmm.
just want to navigate her through that process, more so the emotional part as well, because I'm
Uh-huh.
like, okay, it's all fun and games in the beginning, but how are you gonna feel when you see this guy walking down the hall with another girl,
Right.
because that's part of it as well.
Seeing your daughter with her
hmm
hand in a man's hand.
hmm
I see the fury in your eyes already. Don't be.
I wouldn't necessarily say fairy. I mean, as a father, I mean, we all think about this.
Mm-hmm.
When is this going to come about? So I just want to make sure I instill the right values in her
Mm.
and let her know exactly what she should be looking for.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm a
hmm
couple years older than you, and you became a father way before I ever did, man. So it's like I always thought of you early on as a grown man, even though I was older than you. I felt
hmm
like you're not really truly grown until you have a kid
hmm
of your
hmm
own.
hmm
It's just a different. It's just a transition. So
Yeah. I always was told I have the spirit of an old man.
Mm-hmm.
So and I mean, I truly believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely truly believe it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at UT. I went to all my classes,
Mm-hmm.
but apparently I was making babies as well.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But no, man.
He was making baby. You made a baby.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
baby.
You
Hey,
you
baby.
don't want any women giving you a call like
Just one. Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
just one. That's what's up. And you don't you even though you have a child, like you don't have any kids because she's 12. She's not a baby anymore. You know
Yeah. She's not. She's
what's
not.
that officially preteen? That's that 12. That's
Yes.
uh
Yes. 12-year-old. I think probably 11 and a half, 12 is preteen.
yeah.
But like I said, I mean, her birthday is at the end of this month, so she'll be officially a teenager.
What is this sexual obsession you have with Glorilla?
Call me Glow.
Uh, well. I mean, honestly, I grew up in Houston, right?
Uh huh.
And growing up listening to music from the South Side, Big Pokey, Hawk,
Mm-hmm.
Big Mo, Lil Kiki, Slim
Okay.
Thug, Paul
Okay.
Wild.
Yeah.
We always wanted a bad yellow bitch. So,
Oh.
Glorilla.
I mean, that's always been something I wanted. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, Glorilla definitely fits that form.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I mean, I've also heard that. I mean, as a son, you probably go after girls that look like your mom, and
Yeah.
so my mom
Hmm.
was a yellow bone, and so that's
Okay.
typically on the thinner side. So it's typically girls I go for.
Yeah, you get into some psychological Freud type stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
Glorilla is gonna see this because I'm a tagger and it's real. And if she does see this, and she will, what is
Mm-hmm.
it that you would say to Glorilla to show her that your heart and her heart need to be closer together?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would just show her, there's definitely a softer side to life.
Yeah.
You don't need to be so hard all the time.
I'm sorry.
You know, I mean that's the truth. You want me to lie?
No, man, no, absolutely,
No, that's
absolutely
definitely what I
not.
would say.
Yeah,
I would look right in her eyes and
yeah,
I would say that.
yeah. Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
what's up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it probably is a softer side to it. Like it's music, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
she get in the booth and bring her voice down as many octaves as she can,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
she says, and she probably lighten up afterwards, you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I
Yeah,
mean, hey, it's all about sales. You have to do with sales, right?
yeah,
It's a business at the end of the day.
that's true.
If you don't have that top line revenue growth, hey,
Hmm.
what are we doing?
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
and what do you think about that? Because as we know, like sex sells for sure, and
Mm-hmm.
apparently, I guess rapping in a way it's almost like flipping the script in a sense. It's kind of like instead of it's damn near like the women are rapping and telling these niggas to take their shirts off and get in the kitchen and cook them something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the opposite of uh what is the word I'm looking for? The opposite of
The patriarchy.
is yeah, yeah. So I guess that would be the matriarchy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
the opposite of that
Mm-hmm.
is going on right now. So what are your thoughts?
I mean, I mean, honestly, I mean, we go through time periods where, I mean, predominantly males are in charge, and then, I mean, to balance things out, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there has to be a time when females are in charge,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe we're coming into that right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, prime example. I mean, we have, I mean, Kamala running for president.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have your sexy reds, your Cardi B's, your Meg The Stallions. The female rappers are really coming up and taking over the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're kind of seeing that now. But the matriarchy coming into their own,
Mm-hmm.
and it's actually the perfect time for that.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Especially with you having a daughter and you want to kind of see that power dynamic shift,
Hmm.
to feel like she can do anything.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've told her that since since she was a baby, since she can understand what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
I've always told her that she was great.
Right.
And that she's bigger than whatever she can conceive right now.
Right.
So whatever you want to do, go for it. The only thing
Right.
holding you back is yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what's up, man. That's powerful.
Hmm.
I know it's an interesting story, but we haven't heard it as an audience. So how did you get started in real estate?
So yeah, I got started. I want to say in 2010 is when I was approved for my license for the first time
Mm-hmm.
in Texas, in Austin. And so that was around December. So I officially got my license in 2011, the same year Sarai was born. But actually, backtrack. In high school, one of my mentors, Rossi Allen, who actually passed away from pancreatic cancer in 2014. But he's the one who sort of sparked that entrepreneurial real estate uh, financier type spirit in me
Mm.
when he would come to our high school to teach us about stocks. So in high
Right.
school, we participated in this thing called the stock market game, where we would mock trade and we would compete against different schools.
And just to interject, you
Hmm.
grew up in Third Ward.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
Third
yeah,
Ward.
yeah,
So
yeah. So that's why I went to school. I
you didn't grow
graduated.
up rich with Cadillacs and limousines or like a chauffeur or anything.
No,
Okay,
no,
humble
no,
beginners.
no,
I want to make sure because a lot of
not at
people
all,
think
not
that
at all.
people in real estate or people who are now doing things must have
Mhm,
had a head start.
mhm,
You know what I mean? So I just like
mhm,
to always emphasize that that's not always the case.
mhm,
Actually, many times it's not the case. So
mhm.
that's
Yeah,
what's up.
yeah, yeah. No, 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 not at all. Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, I graduated from Ryan, then went ahead and graduated from Yates right there. in the heart of Third Ward. Yeah, yeah. So he would come to the school, teach us about that. He also had his own real estate portfolio. He had a few beach rentals in Galveston before, and this was before Airbnb.
Mm.
And so, you have these random vacation sites where you can list your properties, and people would come rent them out. So he would take us to those properties and show them like, hey, you can do this, and things like that. And so that sparked the interest, and that's what brought me. Yeah, when I got to UT, that's when I took an interest. That's why I majored in finance with a concentration in real estate, and yeah, I mean at UT I was touring $100 million developments and things like that.
I don't
Uh,
want to skip past that, man, because
mhm,
you went to UT Austin, so did I. But
mhm,
that's it's one of the top institutions in America,
mhm,
and it's also I want to say like top 5 in business and finance.
mhm.
And so
It
you
is.
went to UT and you majored in finance from one of the
Mhm,
greatest universities in
mhm,
the United States, man. So that's quite the accomplishment
mhm,
in and of itself. So
mhm, mhm.
I'm gonna take a sip to that.
And we
Yeah,
did.
take a sip with
Okay.
me. Come on,
Oh.
drink. That's what's up. Oh, another cheers.
All right.
Cheers. Yeah. There we go.
But yeah. So I mean, we were looking at office developments in Houston,
Hmm.
condos, high-rise condos in Austin, and I mean, it was just a great experience, a great network. That's how I got those internships and things like that. To where I worked for companies who built a domain in Austin. Uh,
Was there something
mhm,
specific that you saw, like from high school all the way up until you college,
mhm,
where you were just like, "This is possible," or like, "People do this," or like, what was like an eye opening thing you saw, noticed, or felt
mhm,
when you were going through that transition in your life?
mhm. Well, it was. I want to say it was just always in me, you
Hmm.
know. So just I mean, talking about money and finance and things like that, I was just always drawn to it. And it wasn't until later on, after I finished college, I found out that my dad had his finance degree as well from Georgia State University.
Wow.
So so it was just something I was born with, and I was always drawn to it, and it
Hmm.
always made sense to me,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, so I mean that was my college experience, and then after that I went on to work for Wells Fargo,
Hmm.
for a time,
Hmm.
where we were working on deals that were like $50 million and plus, and then shortly after that, same year I moved on to George Jones, which is where I got the infamous phone call from Tony. You
I
called me.
called you, and I was like, I hate this job. I was working management at AT&T,
Exactly.
and after college, because we graduated the same time. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm you doing real estate. I'm working management at AT&T, and I was like, man,
Mm-hmm.
I was great at the job,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic,
Yeah.
but I just hated what I was doing,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like,
I understand.
yeah. I called my friend Adam. What you doing, man?
Mm-hmm.
And I tell when I tell a story, I don't know. Maybe you could tell it differently, but
Okay.
I'm usually like, I called you. We were talking on the phone, and I basically at some point I'm asking what you doing. He was like, I'm smoking weed, and I was like, I thought you just told me you were at work. He was like, I am at work. My broker right here with me smoking too, and I was like, what? Like you like that? The concept. I've never been like a smoker, but the concept of that freedom
Mm-hmm.
was just like, man, you can. That's something like you can have a job where you can just relax and just do what
Mm-hmm.
you need to do,
Mm-hmm.
and also do what you want to do too. It doesn't have to
Mm-hmm.
be so restrictive, so tight collared
Mm-hmm.
type situation.
Yeah.
I felt like I could breathe. So I think I quit maybe like a week after that conversation or less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. Because remember, I told you, it's like I was thinking about going to work for Keller Williams, and I was like, nah, man, forget that. You should come here.
yes,
We're definitely doing bigger things than that,
yeah,
And so you
right.
listen, you listen,
And I listen.
and you did.
I try to listen to get advice when it's told, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not hard to listen. I think it's harder to take action on the things you heard,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it translates. I think everybody listens. It translates to not listening.
Mm-hmm.
But in actuality, it's that action part that people can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can listen.
Mm-hmm.
So Yeah, I hightailed it back to Austin. I took that real estate class. I knocked it out in 2.5 days.
You did. You did.
2.5 days, knocked that out, and yeah, I took the test shortly afterwards, and then I was on the plane to Houston to interview.
You were. I remember that interview.
Yeah, yeah, you were there.
I
You
was.
were there.
I was there.
You was
I
there.
was there.
Yeah. Titties and all.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What?
It was. It was. It was. The interview was definitely at a strip club.
Yeah. So right. So I get there. I never knew. I think you kept it a secret from me. Like I never knew
I
where I was
probably
going.
did. I
Yeah, you
like to
did.
surprise you sometimes.
Right. Yeah. So I show up to the address and I'm like, what? I think I'm at the right spot. And then I think you came out. I think you walked me in. And I'm like, this is what I'm interviewing here. And I think I had my suitcase with me if I remember. I don't know. But anyway, I go to the interview and I'm like, this is a strip club. The interview lasted probably maybe like 90 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. It did.
It was
It
a
did.
90-second interview. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, I'd already let Brian know the case. You
right.
know, he was already a top salesman at AT&T or I believe T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
Yeah,
Yeah, T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'd already kind of laid the groundwork.
Uh-huh.
So it was just a walk-in, you know. I mean, how can you turn down the chocolate broker when he walks through those doors?
How can you turn down the chocolate broker when I like that?
I want to say that was probably one of the best decisions Brian made, because I was closing a mere about 5 deals a month, and then.
But that 5 deals, that was considered pretty good.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly.
Not bad.
Until the chocolate broker walks in and closes 30 deals a month. Then don't let that go over your head. That's not a small feat
It's
at all.
not. It's a deal a day.
Yeah.
So
It is.
I was sourcing a deal a day, like averaging one deal per day. Yeah. And everybody knew it too because we had to write it on that board. We, it was like, but I came in hungry. Like I was like, man, this is a opportunity. Like, you like numbers, I like numbers too. But it was just like an opportunity to just. The opportunities were limitless. Like me coming from a background in sales, everything always had a cap on it. It was like you can sell so many phones, but you can only do so much in a day almost with your time. It's almost like how many stones can you lift up this mountain? It's like, well, even if you are strong, you can only lift so many stones. But it's kind of like
Exactly.
with real estate is like you can employ methods to multiply your efforts, whether it be like word of mouth or advertising or having people just, hey, if you bring deals to me, I'll give you this. I'll do certain things. So
Exactly.
the rewards were definitely greater in real estate. Still are.
Yeah. They are. But yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. That was a time in my life I won't ever forget. For sure.
That's it. It was a good time.
It was a great time, actually. Oh, yeah.
Why you say that?
A great time. I mean, honestly, working there was probably one of the best experiences so far that I've had in real estate. You know, and it wasn't necessarily the money or anything like that, but just being around a group of your friends and working, and making money at the same time.
That's right.
You know,
yeah. There's a bunch of young
It was a good
professionals and
experience.
hanging out at work, hanging out after work, and yeah, it was definitely pretty cool working for a multi-million-dollar hedge fund, sourcing these deals. It was pretty cool, and the commission was good.
Yeah. 500 million to be exact was how much they raised each fund. So
500 million, yeah,
yeah, and we had to spend that.
yeah.
So
Had to spend 5. Yeah, imagine being put in a position where you have to spend 500 million. So, what do you see yourself 10 years from now?
So 10 years from now. So I mean, it's always been a goal of mine. I mean, even since the beginning. Anyone getting in real estate, they want to do it for themselves. I mean, it's been a blessing for me to, close over 600 plus transactions. As a real estate agent, working for these institutional buyers. It's always
You
been
done over 600 transactions, like real estate transactions.
yes. Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes.
wow. That's like
Closed.
that's a lot. That's a
Closed.
lot. You've seen a lot. You've closed.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen over thousands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Exactly.
thousands. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
closed over 600.
I see myself as a real estate developer.
Okay.
I've always had the passion of to build my own projects and things like this.
Mm-hmm.
If I, as I said before, in college we were visiting $100 million developments.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always been something that I've aspired to. Once you
Mm-hmm.
learn something, it's kind of hard to unlearn it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the goal. And I figured I'd start with like developing my own fourplex, and then just working up from there.
Okay.
To bigger and bigger projects.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you need to do to get to that point to where
Mm-hmm.
you're actually developing those properties?
Mm-hmm. What I need, I would say, financing from the bank,
Mm-hmm.
and build those relationships with different equity partners and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like once I do that, and I put my energy towards that, then I can see it come to fruition.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's amazing. I can definitely see it because
Mm-hmm.
when well, I guess one of the biggest things I learned from you, and I say this all the time,
Mm-hmm.
is I learned how to put an extra zero on things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
kind of like the
Yeah.
same way you can make $10 is the same way you can make $1,000. It's the same
It
way you can
is.
make 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same way you can make 10 million. Like
Exactly.
that's just how it goes. And so
Exactly.
I've always ever since I've known you, like I've always been like, man, how does like I mean, it makes perfect sense. Like, why can't you just put an extra zero on it?
Mm-hmm.
Why
Mm-hmm.
can't you? And I think it has a lot to do with your early childhood of you seeing those big numbers
Mm-hmm.
earlier in your life. It made it more real because, like you said, it's hard to unlearn things. So once
Mm-hmm.
you had that instilled in you at an early age,
Mm-hmm.
it was easier for you to just think like that going forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? $10 million development. It just rolls off the tongue, and people were like,
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
can't even fathom that.
Exactly. But
You know?
that's a blessing and a curse
Okay.
because for me, kind of the basic fundamental steps,
Hmm.
I sort of skip past.
Right.
I'm like I need this big deal.
Right.
Instead of just trying to save the next dollar so I can
Hmm.
put down for a property.
Right.
I see this $10 million deal or whatever like that, but it's the incremental steps which you've taught me and you showed me. It's sort of the steps to building yourself up to that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One step
Exactly.
at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And you definitely do not count your change. That's
No.
something I talk about
Yeah.
sometimes too.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people don't count their change, and I'm like, people might say that's $1, and I'm like, no, it's $1.74.
Mm-hmm.
Like that 74 cent counts. Like you're only 26 cents away from that next dollar,
Mm-hmm.
and it counts. Don't Let's not discard the 74 cent. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And what are the steps we need to get the other 26 cent? You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've always amazed me with that. A funny story when we were at George Jones taking us back. We would go to the strip clubs and we would get an allotment of money from our broker
Mm-hmm.
to spend. And Tony would actually come home with all his money. Of course, mine would be gone, but Tony would definitely come back with his $100 allotment,
Yeah.
which I'm pretty sure you saved
Right.
and invested. And so,
Well, yeah, it definitely went towards investment. Yeah, because
mm-hmm,
I was definitely on a mission at that time, and plus
mm-hmm,
I'm not really a big fan of strip clubs. I
mm-hmm,
just never been a big fan. A
mm-hmm,
huge fan of women. Don't get it twisted. Huge fan of women,
mm-hmm,
but strip clubs specifically, I'm just
mm-hmm.
like, ah, I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
It's for some people,
Yeah,
not for some.
you one of those people. It's for.
At a point in my life, I really enjoyed it.
Hmm.
But
That's an understatement.
yeah. It is. What? We were in high school, going to strip clubs.
Hmm.
I had my mom Lexus out front. Uh, of the strip club, which I probably wasn't supposed to do, but we were there.
Yeah.
We were outside.
Hmm.
But fast forward George Jones and several things. But yeah, yeah, I enjoy it.
So Adam, you single, right?
I am. I am. I
Okay.
am.
What do you feel like today's modern day dating is like?
Uh, I mean, honestly, I turn on YouTube, and it's sort of like a battle of the sexes now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's going back and forth, or blaming men for this, blaming women for that. And I mean, basically, it's really a war zone,
Mm-hmm.
And I've kind of lost faith in kind of this sort of modern dating scene.
Mm.
You know, it's like everybody expect the other person to fulfill them, but honestly, the truth is, you're supposed to come to a relationship to give things versus take away.
Mm.
No one can make you happy. You can only share your happiness with the other person.
Mm.
If you come to a relationship with the empty space, I'm not going to be able to fill that for you. You have to feel that yourself. And then you can share that fulfillment with me. And I would do the same as well. So yeah, I believe we grew up on the Disney fairy tales, happily ever after and things like that. But I mean, honestly, it's about hard work. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I feel like there's no staying power now in relationships. The first time things go wrong, people, want to leave the scene as well. I think that has a lot to do with the dating apps. Everything's
Mm-hmm.
just a swipe away,
Mm.
and so I mean, it's real easy to.
Right.
I mean, back in the day, we didn't have that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, options are a gift and a curse.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like options can definitely break something down that could be special, but
Mhm.
because um, no one really knows what special is, because
Mhm.
special is special is something that's on social media or on TV, is something that's really
Mhm.
not necessarily achievable.
Mhm.
Like that moment, they'll turn a moment in time
Mhm.
into what they feel a permanent situation should be.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like, oh, they're like, oh, husband and wife kissing each other, loving each other, bringing
Mhm.
each other gifts, and that's
Mhm.
it. They don't show any of the hard work or the arguments or
Exactly.
the reconciliation
Mhm.
of those arguments,
Mhm.
and we don't know that that's a part of life, and that
Mhm.
like we need to learn how to solve problems versus
Exactly.
leaving problems. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because everything is like an Instagram reel.
Hmm.
You expect it to be, these heart shaped flowers in the tub in Tulum.
Right.
All the time.
Every weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's chasing that feeling. Oh, I need to feel in love.
Hmm.
I need to have these, what they call it, fanny flutters all the time.
The Fanny, I never heard of that one.
Yeah. It's what I learned from Love Island.
Okay.
Watching that.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it came from the UK.
Yeah, you a
Uh,
big fan of reality shows. I'm not
I
too
am.
much into
I
it.
am. I am. Mhm.
But you feel like also has an impact on modern day dating as
Mhm.
well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I would definitely say so. I believe the reality shows now, or basically a result of sort of the dating situation that we live in now.
So
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
do we
Yeah.
fix this,
Exactly.
Adam? How do we fix this?
Uh, I would say, I mean, it's kind of what you said earlier. You have to understand that it's not going to always be rainbows and sunshine.
Hmm.
You're going to have those hard times. And being in love, I mean, that's a temporary feeling. 'Cause you're
Hmm.
going to fall in and out of love. But being in a relationship is about, I mean, putting in work. And so, I mean, just understanding that fact, I feel like that would help us in this generation, you know?
Hmm.
Uh,
That's
just
a bar. I'm
understanding
trying
that.
not to smile because that was beautiful, man. That was beautiful.
Hey! It was the truth. It was the truth.
Hmm.
And so, yeah. Just, I mean, understanding that, you have to put in work. It's not all about, what someone can do for you all the time.
Hmm.
I don't necessarily have to pay for you and your friends when we go out to show my love for you. You know, it's not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just knowing that it's hard work. I feel like that would help, you know, and both parts coming fulfilled and not empty looking for the other person to fulfill them, because you can only, like I said before, you can only share your happiness
Mm-hmm.
with someone.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. And that's it.
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Dang, Junior broke it down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Adam.
Just a little bit, just a little bit.
So because you're single, you gotta be out here in these streets, man. And I know
Mm-hmm.
that everybody has their own criteria and things they look for and
Mm-hmm.
how they judge their potential partner.
Mm-hmm.
Women do it, men do it. How do you rate a potential partner?
Mm-hmm. So I mean, like you'll see on the YouTube videos and things like that. You know the infamous question: "What do you rate me on a scale from 1 to 10?"
Uh huh.
You know, and they'll do a little spin, you know,
Uh-huh.
and then they'll give them a number. But I feel like the issue with that is it's just based off looks.
Mm.
And I mean, after you're with a person for a while, I mean that kind of fades. You
Mm.
know, I mean that's basically the initial attraction. That's definitely a prerequisite. You know, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's a little deeper than that. You know, so I kind of came up with my own little rating system, just sitting around thinking about it.
We waiting on it. We want to know what it is.
Yeah. And so I feel like I split it between five different things. No, four different things. And so I would say looks should be about 40% of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so on a scale of 1 to 10, you know, if you're a 10, that's only like a 4 as well. But then I look at the other aspects,
If
such
you're a 10, that's
Mhm.
40%. You get 40% total.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So which will equal a 4, which will equal a
Oh,
4 out of
four
10.
four out of 10. Got you.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And so the other three levels would be respect, it would be sweetness, and it would be loyalty. And so I mean, just to break that down, respect is, uh, you know, I mean, basically, how do you respect me as a person? You know, when I'm not in your face, how are you talking about me? You know, do you respect my ideas? Do you respect my dreams and my goals and things like that? And so, and honestly, that's both ways for male and females. Then also sweetness is another part of it. Because you know, like we said, life is about ups and downs. It's not gonna always be, you know, Bentleys and roses
For
and
most
things.
people, it may never be a Bentley. For most
Yeah,
people,
yeah,
it might be a
exactly.
Honda Accord.
Exactly.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah. For most people,
Yeah, for most
there's no
people.
problem with that at all.
Uh huh.
But yeah. So how do you act when times are bad? You know, when you get bored, when we're broke, or you just gonna just leave, or we're gonna work through it.
Come on.
When stuff is not going your way, you know, how sweet are you gonna be? And so that's basically what sweetness is. And I mean loyalty is kind of self-explanatory. You know, I mean how loyal are you? You know, every time you get a DM from someone, are you gonna engage?
Mm.
Are you gonna be like, no, I'm loyal to this person? And so each of those, I would rate those about 20%.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the majority of the scale, which would be about 60% altogether.
All right. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
loyalty. Like, okay, so and before you be, before the women come for you too bad,
Mm-hmm.
um, is this rating system can be used by both parties, male and female?
Yes, it
Okay.
can, and I mean that's the thing about life. You know, you can adjust it to your needs. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, a lot of the times, you know, females require from us to be a protector and a provider.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that can be substituted in there.
Right.
As a
Yeah.
female, you would probably value that over probably sweetness or
Right.
something like that, or
Those are
uh,
just the things that
or
you
loyalty.
value. But I also
Exactly.
feel like in your rating system, if
hmm
I can add some to your rating system,
Go
if that's
ahead. Go
okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
Um,
hmm
I almost feel like it's almost pass or fail with the loyalty, right?
hmm
Because you can't have someone who's 10%. out of the 20% that you were saying. It's pass or fail. It's like, oh, she
Yeah.
half loyal. She loyal half the time.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
She only responded to half the DMs.
Right.
So, yeah, that's
So,
disloyal, I would
and
say.
that in and of itself, it also that
Mm-hmm.
tells me like if she gets a 0 in loyalty, but she still got everything else, that she gonna get 80% according to your scale.
Well,
The 80% is passing.
well, she would have to be a 10. How many tens
Exactly.
are out there?
Exactly. But
Mm-hmm.
my question is,
Mm-hmm.
if she is a 10 and
Mm-hmm.
she's sweet, right,
Mm-hmm.
and she gives you respect, but she's not loyal at all, do you still mess with her because now she's at 80%?
No.
She passed.
No. Yeah, she did. Eighty
Okay.
percent, 80% is passing.
So then now you have to
And
add the
so,
caveat of you have to have at least
mm-hmm.
10. You have to, well, really, yeah, that 20% is pass fail, bro. Or even respect too. It's like you want somebody half respectful.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like you gotta fully have these three things
Mm-hmm.
100%.
I agree. I agree.
I can see the sweetness. She not sweet all the time, but most of the time you can kind of let that slide. But the
Mm-hmm.
respect part and the
And
loyalty,
loyalty.
you
Yeah.
need 100%
It has
in
to be
both those
there. I agree. I
categories.
agree.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
that's pass or fail, brother.
It is. It is, man. It is. Yeah. I mean, especially the loyalty one. I mean,
I feel for the women,
mm-hmm.
because for a woman to get to the place of where she truly respects and she's loyal to you,
Mm-hmm.
it's like she needs like there's a level of herself she's given away, and because
How so? What is she giving away?
well she's it's almost like that. Here's the thing, like
Mm-hmm.
regarding that, I have to. It's some things in life that you understand, but you believe in it, but you don't necessarily understand it. And I'll
Mm-hmm.
give you a perfect example. Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it don't exist really, like it's a digital currency, but also it does. And the only reason I believe in Bitcoin is because other people do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to understand it. I just believe in it because I know other people believe in it. I believe that other people believe in it,
Mm-hmm. Which is
right?
the same thing about the US dollar.
And so if a lot of women,
Yeah.
um, I've seen on social media or just from personal experience
Mm-hmm.
tell me like that, they have to give a certain part of themselves away in order to like love and like to respect someone,
Mm-hmm.
and then for their respect to be violated, it hurts them more because they actually really respected you and they really trusted you.
Mm-hmm.
So now in modern dating, a lot of women are reserving that trust and that respect, which also affects the relationship, and it affects how they show up in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But they do it to kind of reserve their heart because women are obviously
Oh, okay.
sensitive.
You're saying because they don't want to get their heart broken again.
Right, exactly. So they've
Mm-hmm.
already been through so many failed relationships,
Mm-hmm.
and so every single time that they give it a try, they're like, I'm just gonna give you 5% because I don't want to hurt
Mm-hmm.
that bad if
Mm-hmm.
things don't go well. But because you're only giving 5%,
Mm-hmm.
your relationship is way more likely to crumble because
Mm-hmm.
you're not giving your full self, and it's easily noticeable
Mm-hmm.
when you're not giving your full self. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah, yeah, and honestly, I believe the solution to that, and I've heard this before, is, I mean, honestly, people shouldn't date, right? Because I mean, when you date, I mean, you're giving that part of yourself. You know, you're giving your mind, you know, your body and your spirit to all these different people, and not necessarily knowing if it's going to work. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, I believe we should get back to courtship. You know.
So
Mm-hmm.
I thought dating was courting, like they're synonyms.
Uh,
So you're saying that people shouldn't date, they
no,
should court.
no, they're not synonyms at
Okay,
all.
tell us more.
So more so, and I'm still, you know, learning about this, but I mean, courtship is more so, it's more serious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not really giving yourself, definitely not your body, to a lot of different people trying to figure out if it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, more so, I would say in the terms of courtship, it would be someone that you're probably close to, that's in your inner circle, and you know, you can see how they move and things like that, not in like a sort of a romantic sense. uh, and then once you want to take that step, courtship is actually something that, you're actually getting to know them to actually marry them and be with them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe it's more serious than dating.
Dating is dating. Courtship is serious dating, or dating with intention.
Uh, I would want to say with an intention to actually be with this person and marry them.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Does Adam believe in marriage?
Uh, I definitely do. I definitely do. But I mean, like I said, I mean, in this current dating system, uh, it's kind of it's kind of tough. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like you said, I mean, the women don't want to give themselves fully because I mean they've been hurt a lot and things like that, and vice versa. The man has been hurt as well, and so you have these two hurt creatures trying to figure this thing out.
Mm-hmm.
In this whole social media, type culture and everything like that. So honestly, I believe marriage now is more of a show. You know,
Mm-hmm.
how much can I spend on this marriage so I can put it on Instagram, or
Mm-hmm.
Facebook or something like that. It's not necessarily about you believing those vows that you're saying and you're committing to this person,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're doing it as like a checkbox. I always said I need to get married, so this is what I'm going to do. So
Yeah.
I mean that's why I believe in the state of marriage is right now.
Man, well, thank you so much for coming on the Chocolate Broker podcast. I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
You was actually supposed to be my first guest, but
Yeah. Things happen. We had scheduling issues,
right.
uh, but I made it. I made it.
We talked about a lot of things, man. We talked about uh, your future love, Gorilla. She's gonna hit you up. She's
Possibly.
gonna hit you up.
Hmm.
We talked about a lot of real estate stuff, man. You have a wealth of knowledge. If someone wanted to work with you as a realtor, just purchase their next mansion or something like that, is that possible at all?
Hmm. Well, right now, the particular institutional buyer I work with, I have to hold my license exclusively with them, and
Mm-hmm.
so I can't really do outside deals at this time.
Mm-hmm.
But there may be potential in the future for sure.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, usually I have guests like I'll put up your Instagram or your LinkedIn or
Hmm.
email or phone number, whatever you want,
Hmm.
to potential people. But since you're not working with clients right now, how can Gorilla reach out to you if she wants to
Hmm.
pursue that love,
Yeah. So I'm.
or
Hmm.
a Gorilla lookalike?
Hmm.
Take that too, right?
Yeah.
Same voice level.
All options. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But I mean, really, the only social media I have is LinkedIn, and so anyone can reach out to me at my LinkedIn profile.
You think Glorilla is on LinkedIn?
She could be. I wouldn't doubt it. She's definitely multi-talented and
Yeah, I
multifaceted.
mean she is. She
And so,
probably
yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Do you think she was
Hmm.
on LinkedIn before she became a rapper?
I wouldn't put it past her, but I
Right,
doubt it. I doubt it. I don't.
right.
I'm probably not.
Cool, man. So we're gonna have Glorilla reach out to you. Um, but
Possibly.
um, hopefully she's into numerology. I heard you dabble in numerology.
Uh,
First of all, it's
yes.
definitely tell us what that is. What's numerology?
Hmm. Okay. I mean, so basically, numerology is basically when it comes down to it, the study of different energies throughout the universe, and how we can read those different energies is based on the different numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So, in numerology, there's only really nine true numbers, one through one through nine. And then after that, they just repeat. 10 is 1, 11 is 2,
Mm-hmm.
12 is 3, and so forth. And so each one has sort of their own character traits and things like that. And so, I mean, just based on a person's birthday, you can come up with basically their life path number. The particular day they're born on is significant as well,
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. And so those are the two major numbers that we pay attention to. And also, I mean, people are, concerned about relationships and things like that, and so certain numbers are compatible with others and things like that.
Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me a lot of people the reason why their relationship isn't working out is because they're with the wrong life path number, opposite number?
Possibly, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, possibly. So yeah, and it definitely. I mean, numerology, um, is sort of superior to astrology and things like that, and so the numbers are really going to be, the main key to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Are the numbers related to something else we were speaking about off air?
Mm-hmm.
The different animals, like you were like the pig and the snake, like a pig and a snake can't be together
Mm-hmm.
or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So Tony is referring to the Chinese zodiac.
Uh huh.
And so in the Chinese zodiac, there are 12 signs. And so
Can
each
I know you know well, so let's go through all 12 real quick. You know what? You know them like that?
I wouldn't say I'm fairly new
Okay.
to my astrology to my Chinese astrology journey. But I can speak about
Okay.
our um
Okay.
our Chinese zodiac
Let's
signs.
go that route.
And so probably one of the reasons why I mean we both connected, you know, um is because first of all we had the same life path number.
Okay.
Actually, our life path numbers they add up to 28. Yours is more pure than mine, but 28 just distills down to one. 2 plus 8 is 10, which is a one. Um, but 28 is the number responsible for wealth.
Come on, 28 and that wealth. There you
Mm-hmm.
go.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So it's probably why we sort of have a propensity to go towards real estate, finance, and things like that because I mean it's in our energy. But also another thing that would make us work together is because I'm a snake and you're an ox as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so snake, ox, and roosters are kind of in that same triad, and so we work well together.
Mm-hmm.
As friends, also a significant other in that
Mm-hmm.
triad as well would most likely mesh together.
So I need
Hmm.
to find a life path partner, or everybody should. I shouldn't say me. Anybody, they should
Hmm.
find somebody who's within their triad.
I mean, that would lead. So everything's about possibilities, right? But
Mm-hmm.
that or like probabilities. So that would lead to a probability for success that's higher than the other ones.
Mm.
You know.
Okay, so not to say
Hmm.
it wouldn't work, but it's a higher
Hmm.
chance.
Exactly. Exactly.
Got you.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
I can't be
Yeah.
running around but like you a pig, you a snake, you a frog, you a duck. You know what I mean?
I mean, you can ask. I mean, they're just questions.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I had never heard that
Hmm.
before you brought that up. Maybe I have.
Hmm.
I have heard of the year of the monkey and stuff like that, but is that the same?
Hmm.
That's the same type of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Exactly. And yeah, the year of the monkey. The United States is actually under that energy. Uh, they were founded in 1776,
Mhm.
and their death, I believe, that was a monkey year.
Mm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, it's a lot of monkeying around going on for
Mhm.
sure.
It is. It is. It is.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And I did want to say, I got this information from Gary, the numbers guy. So I want to give,
Shout out to Gary, the numbers guy.
yeah, I want to give props where props are due. She's definitely enlightened me on expanding my knowledge on numerology, and
Mhm.
also I didn't know anything about the Chinese zodiac before that.
Mhm.
But it's really, I want to say it's really practical as
Mhm.
well because it can show you the years that you want to try to do your best and go as big as possible.
Mhm.
In your enemy year you may want to lay low. Um, I mean down to where you stay.
Mhm.
The building, what year was it built? If it was
Right.
built in your enemy year, maybe you want to go to a different building, you know,
Mm.
or your car,
Mhm.
what year was the company founded?
Mm.
If it was in your enemy year, you might want to get a different car, because you don't
Right.
want to have that opposing energy all the time,
Damn, that sounds
you know.
exhausting. You trying to check out. You got to research when
Yeah.
it was founded. Then you find your car, like, okay, it was cool. It was founded in a decent year. Then you get your car and you find out the VIN number got that number in it. That's your enemy VIN number.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
just
Well,
like, I can't have this car. Like, that's
well, I believe that's why they say ignorance is bliss.
uh-huh.
But once you know better, you got to do better.
Oh man, that's good. Once you know better, you gotta do better, man. Let's end on that, man.
Exactly.
I appreciate you coming on the Chocolate Broker podcast, man.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
You gotta come
Thanks for
back.
having me, Tony. Oh, I will be back. I will be back. It was a great time.
All right, man.
And I appreciate you.
One more cheers. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.